Live from CampFI Midwest, Week 1, this is the Extreme Personal Finance Show. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I am actually live in front of an audience. This is the first time I've ever done in front of an audience episode of my podcast, and I'm here at CampFI. Everyone say hi. All right. Super rad. So I know I've talked about CampFI a lot. I've mentioned it in blog posts. I talk about it on other podcasts. And so many times people ask, you're doing what? You're going where? What are you going to do? Like, are you out in the woods in tents, and who are you talking to? And, is it a bunch of nerds just sitting around in spreadsheets all weekend? Like, what do you do? And it's actually kind of hard to kind of explain exactly what CampFI is and the magic that comes together within this community. So what I've done is I've asked Stephen Boyer to come up here to kind of talk through a little bit about how he would describe CampFI to someone that has never been. And then we're also going to talk to campers. We're going to talk to campers that have been here many times, what makes them keep coming back, what they think, and why they think it's such a great community. And then we're going to talk to some campers that it's their very first CampFI, right? And then we're going to talk about what made them want to come and what did they think so far and all the people that we've got to meet. Does that sound like a fun plan? All right, awesome. So joining me here is Stephen Boyer. Hey, Stephen, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
Doing great. So I guess one of the first questions, just so people understand a little bit of where you came from. Have you always been a numbers guy? You had a background like accounting, correct?
Correct, yep.
When did you first get bit by this FI bug?
I probably found Financial Independence, all the blogs, Mr. Money Mustache,
Okay.
The Early Retirement Extreme book Jacob Lundfisker wrote, probably back in 2014.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's whenever, the FI bug bit me, I guess. But, I've always been a numbers guy.
Okay. So back in 2014, so when was your very first CampFI? What year?
My very first CampFI was January of 2017.
2017.
Yep.
What sparked this, you know what, you want to create this community, you wanted to start to bring these people together. What was the catalyst for that? What made you want to do that?
So like I said, I found the FI community probably 2014 and was reading the blogs, the Mr. Money Mustache blogs, some minimalism blogs.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming Minimalist was a big blog that I read back then.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at my desk at work, hitting the random button on the Mr. Money Mustache site and just kind of like reading what I can. And then I heard about this Camp Mustache, which is a retreat for people who read the Mr. Money Mustache blog, and that was being held up in just outside Seattle. And in 2016, I was able to attend that, and it was such a great experience. I was able to go with my brother, a friend of mine. So it was nice. So I already knew a few people, but then I met a whole lot of new people. And at the time, I had not been connected with people who were like intentional with their finances and lifestyle design as much as these people were.
Right.
So
that's hard, right? It's hard to find those people, yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know if sometimes you hear people talk about like they found their tribe. I felt a little more connected to these people than I did like coworkers and things like that, and kind of a personal way, so it was just a really powerful experience for me going to that Camp Mustache back in 2016. And so I thought, man, this is one event. It has 50 people, but it's once a year. And there's a whole lot of people in America. And everybody needs an experience like this, or at least the option to go and experience something like this. So I asked the original organizers, the three organizers of the original Camp Mustache, and said, hey, do you mind if I do a Camp Mustache down in the Southeast? And maybe selfishly I'll find some people down near Georgia and Florida and South Carolina that, I can connect with a little more locally than going to Seattle every year.
Right.
That's a long trek. But they were all for it, and they said, yeah, go ahead and do it. And so that following January 2017, I organized Camp Mustache Southeast. And that was great time. We had 38 people come out, some well-known bloggers, some lesser-known bloggers, but a lot of people who were from Florida, and some people who had been to Chautauquas as well, who kind of like knew each other and then used this CampFI as sort of a reunion spot. So it was a really fun time. First time I'd ever done anything like that. And it was just amazing too. So at that point, it was like, this was a great experience. Me and one of the original organizers who had kind of helped me a little bit with the Florida event, were sitting down at the end of that, sitting together and like, okay, well now there's a Northwest Camp Mustache. Now there's a Southeast Camp Mustache. So we need to add some more in the other regions of the country and make them more accessible for people. And so she was all about it, but then she went back to the other two organizers, and they just really didn't want to take that on. They were happy doing just what they were doing. And so I changed the name to CampFI and just kind of ran with it from then.
Awesome.
And so that was the only one that I did in 2017, but then we kind of hit the ground running in 2018 and have been growing ever since.
Sure. Yeah, so since then, how many camps have you done?
The one we're at now is camp number 61.
Wow. So hundreds, well, if not thousands of people, man. I mean, if you add up, wow, that's remarkable. That's so cool. What, I guess, you mentioned like early on you had some bloggers and stuff like that. Now, all the CampFIs that you have all over the country and now even overseas, right? I have CampFI Spain.
Yes. Yeah. Earlier this year, we did Spain for the first time, and we did 2 events there in Santiago de Compostela, and that was wonderful. Yeah.
Wow. So, I guess what type of people do you think come to these type of events? Like, do you have to be a blogger or a content creator? Like, where or who typically comes to these events?
Well, we for sure have some of those, but for the most part, it's just regular people who are interested in just designing a life that's mainly in line with their values, and they're using money as a tool to do that. And they use the community as a way to stay focused on moving in the direction of just a happier life, whatever that means to them. And we all kind of have try to focus on the money thing, get it behind you, get it figured out, get it behind you, and then that way you can just focus on the living life.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I think that's the thing is, man, you said that great, to help design the life that you want. I think that's awesome. Because that's the thing. I think so many people, they need to find those people, like you said, find your tribe. They need to find people that you can have those transparent conversations with. They can truly talk about the nuts and bolts of the money thing, but then the why behind it. Like, what kind of life do you want to design? Do you want to travel? Do you want to spend time with your kids? Like, what do you want to do once you reach financial independence? And that's what this community really has done for me. So I think that's awesome. Super cool. I know it's like, it would be kind of hard, kind of like choosing your favorite kid. Do you have a favorite CampFI?
I thought you were about to ask me, do I have a favorite kid?
No. Do you have a favorite? I mean, it'd be hard because all of these CampFIs are like your children.
Yes. I do have a favorite kid. Just kidding, kids. No, I have 2 kids. They're both equally my favorite. But as far as CampFI goes, no, I don't have a favorite. Each one has sort of its different vibe. The different retreat centers have different offerings. So this one that we're in now, for example, we have one big building that we all sleep in, we meet in, we eat in. So it has a little bit of a different vibe where it's kind of cozier, a little more intimate. Some of the other retreat centers will have a room where there's like a cafeteria as a separate building, and our lodging is in a different place, and so there's a little bit of walking back and forth, a little bit more chance for some separation, but sometimes that's good too. So they're different. I would say, just in general, we have, like, if you want the really good food, like, to me, the place, and I'm Southern, but the place I like the food the most is the one in Florida, the Southeast. If you want to party, I think the Virginia one it kind of gets a little loose.
Get a little
That's
wild.
fun, yeah. And up here in Minnesota, like everybody's like super nice and chill, and it's a beautiful like natural environment that we get to hang out here. So they all have their differences, and they're all really cool though.
Okay. So let's go back and have you, if you're going to explain CampFI to someone that has never been here, what is that couple sentences that like explains what CampFI is? Can you do that?
It's hard to do in a couple sentences. I would say it's just a week-long hangout with people who are intentional with how they want to live their life.
Okay.
That's probably the gist. Now I can talk about like what the schedule's like and all that, but really it's just a social event first. It's a community builder first. There is an educational component. But primarily it's just a community builder because we're all smart people. We know how to read a book. We know how to read a blog and listen to a podcast. But there's just something, was it Shane said yesterday? He said, tell me if I get this wrong, environment is the invisible hand that controls behavior, something like that.
Yeah.
And to me, like that's the difference between like reading a blog or coming to a place like this. Like when you're surrounded by people who are intentionally doing things in a very thoughtful way in designing their life. You can learn from them, they can learn from you, and there's a bit of a peer pressure sort of thing and mutual expectations. And so I think, sorry about hitting the table here.
That's right.
But I think that's it's just a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
Because it's immersing you in an environment where you may take steps towards your goals that you wouldn't take without it.
100%. I have mentioned before, and I've mentioned this in some blog posts, but also some other talks that I've given about how important community was for me, both when I went through divorce and then after I left work. And it was directly the people that I have met at CampFI. And so I would definitely say CampFI is one of those things that did change my life. It did. It changed the direction of where I was going to go. And so those conversations, the social component, I mean, there are also these, like you mentioned, some educational components. So you have these like fireside chats, these like talks. Explain a little bit about, again, what people can expect in some of the more formal conversations.
Yeah, so for the weekend as a whole, people will arrive Friday, they'll check in, get settled into their rooms, we'll have dinner together, and then in the evening we'll do a like icebreaker, kind of get people talking, sharing a little bit about themselves. Saturday and Sundays, the schedules are similar. We'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at morning, middle, and late evening. But then in between breakfast and lunch, we'll have a few like presentations. It might be a well-known blogger or podcaster. It might be somebody that you've never heard of. But it's great information, and it's a nice shared experience for everyone in the group. And then we'll have some more informal talks after lunch, where prior to lunch we'll figure out the topics that we want to talk about, and they're called breakout sessions. So, for example, this weekend it was with travel hacking, non-traditional investments. What were the other two yesterday? Drawdown strategies. And side hustles.
Yeah.
So yeah, this just happens to be the four topics of this event. So it could be any four that we vote on.
Yeah, I know I've been to ones where they talk specifically about tax optimization during your drawdown periods and stuff, and I learned so much. And I remember, like, I think it was my first CampFI. I was thinking, I am so over my head. I had no clue what they were talking about. But, everyone's super cool, and it doesn't matter. Like, you can ask questions and no one judges you, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of knowledgeable people in this community, and I don't claim to know a lot, but I know who knows it.
Yeah.
So I know who to ask whenever I need to know it. And then, yeah, I mean, it could be real estate, it could be healthcare, like any topics. So those are more informal, and then we just have a lot of free time in between early afternoon and dinner. And that's where I think the magic happens. People are just kind of hanging out, taking it easy. Some people here this weekend have gone some ice cream trips, some like a local town, Stillwater, they'll go and get some ice cream. And
Shout out to Nelson's Ice Cream. Woo!
yeah, sponsor deals. Let's go. They'll go on hikes. We just played some volleyball today. That was really fun. And so it's just like sort of like being a kid again. You just like go out and play with your friends. And
Awesome.
Like, it's just free time. So that's really nice because as adults, we really don't get that or do that often.
Right.
And then, Monday is just the morning is people kind of just like having breakfast and saying their goodbyes, leaving as their travel plans dictate. Hopefully feeling good about the weekend and having met a lot of friends, or at least a few friends that they're going to stay in touch with.
Sure. That's awesome. And so how many CampFIs typically are in 1 year?
Well, we've been growing every year.
Oh, okay.
This year, I think last year we had 8. This year we had 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have more next year. But 13 is a good number. It's a lot of camps.
You need an assistant.
I probably do.
That's awesome. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for sharing with us. We're going to talk to some campers and hear their experience here at CampFI. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, awesome. So now I'm joined by a camper, Ben, and what's fascinating to me is Ben has been to a lot of CampFIs.
A lot.
Ben, yeah, say, how many camps have you been to, Ben?
I lost count. I think 14 is what I'm going with right now.
Wow, that's remarkable. So when was your first camp?
I can't really remember. I think it's 2022.
Okay. How did you first discover CampFI? I mean, did you hear about it on a podcast? Like, how did you kind of figure out, hey, I'm going to go check this camp out?
So my first event was Economy by Diana Merriam, and I heard about CampFI there and signed up at that event for Florida camp.
Excellent. So you keep coming back, 14 camps. What makes you keep coming back, man? Like the connections you make, the fun you have. What are your thoughts?
Just like what Steven said, it's being a kid again. You're friends with everybody here, and I just have the best conversations I never have out in the matrix, the world out there.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, you and I had some great conversations over lunch and over breakfast. That's awesome. What if you were to try to tell someone that, hey, you should come and check out a CampFI, what would you tell them? How'd you get them to, you know what, let me go see if these people are real?
Just go. You don't know what you don't know yet, and everybody here is full of knowledge. And just come here with an open mind and just listen.
That's awesome. And are you registered for next year yet?
I am, yes.
I love it. Awesome. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're joined by camper Amber. Amber, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good. So we met at CampFI Midwest, I don't know, 3 years ago, probably?
I think 5.
5. What? No way. Really?
I think so.
Wow. So this is your 5th CampFI. Okay. And again, how did you discover this?
So I had been going to my local CampFI meetups, and randomly in the Facebook group one day, someone said, "Oh, I went to CampFI and registration's open for next year. If anyone wants to go." I looked it up. I said, "This looks fun. I'm going to go." I'm free.
Right on. And you keep coming back. Now, have you been to other locations?
I've been here in Midwest, and I've been to Rocky Mountain.
Oh, yeah? What do you think of that? Is that good?
It was good. Yeah, it's really hyped up.
Yeah, I've been to Rocky Mountain, and it's just gorgeous, just beautiful. You walk, at least coming from a guy from Minnesota, like seeing mountains every morning was pretty fantastic, right? So you keep coming back to CampFI. Mm-hmm. What are some of those things? Like if you were going to tell people, like what makes you keep coming back?
I think every year I try to just learn one new thing that financially is going to push me forwards. So year 1, I remember people really encouraging me to ask my coworkers how much money they made.
Oh, interesting.
And while I was at camp, I messaged one of my coworkers in the same role. I said, "How much money are you making?"
That took guts, right?
Yeah. But we were friends outside of work a little bit. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I wish there was a better ending to this story. He was making more money, and then we both got laid off.
Oh.
Not from talking about financials, but this startup was not doing well.
That so if you were to like encourage someone to test out CampFI, to join this community, how would you do that? What are some of the things you would say?
I would say you're going to get out of it what you put in, and everyone's takeaways are going to be different just because of the different people you gravitate towards here and the conversations you have. So, I'm really into social media and reselling and traveling. A lot of my conversations here revolve around that. But for someone who's maybe on the edge of retirement and they're thinking about it, maybe they're getting a lot of people here encouraging them to take the leap and, explaining how their experience has been, and maybe that's what they need to push them. So there's a lot of different things that people can take away.
Okay. So in your opinion, who do you think CampFI is for?
I think it's for anyone, because I think the people who are early retired, they really enjoy the connection and making friends who have the same schedule as them. But for me, not being retired, I come here to learn and connect with people. And, every year I look back and I'm like, wow, look how much I've grown since last CampFI. And I really enjoy that.
That's awesome. Good for you, man. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And now we're going to talk to a camper that this is their very first camp. Awesome. So now I'm joined by Deja. Awesome. So Deja, you and I just met this weekend.
Yes, we did.
Yes. So this is your very first CampFI.
Yes, it is. And it was terrifying, but an amazing experience.
Yeah?
Yes.
So how did you learn about, hey, I'm going to go to this camp with a bunch of grown-ups? Like what what prompted that?
So there's two things that prompted it. One, I found Fi through my best friend and my new best friend that live in Friendswood, Texas. They introduced me. We had just a girls' day, and I was like, what are you doing for retirement? Because I'm really freaking out. I'm almost 40, and I don't think I'm doing the right things. And then as I've been on this journey, this year was a huge milestone because I became debt-free. I maxed out accounts. I did all the things that you're supposed to do. And then I thought, yeah, let's go on this camp trip because I have never been camp. I've never gone to camp as a little kid. I was like, let's do activities. Let's meet new people and put yourself out there. I know a lot of people think I am extroverted. I'm very not. So this was a great challenge. But I think coming here, I was so terrified because I felt like so many people were going to be ahead in their journey. And I have learned so much. And the things that we have talked about, I was like, that's what I wanted to hear. And I wanted to hear all the things that made it more real. And I think I have to give a shout out to all the speakers. Everybody did a fantastic job, and there was a little something. So kudos to you. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. So did it meet your expectations, right?
I think it went over my expectations.
Okay.
I think I was worried I was going to be very shy. I wasn't going to talk to people. And then I thought people are going to say things that are going to go over my head. And just observing, I wanted to be that person that just heard all the things, even if I'm not there, because it's nice to hear how other people are handling the situations. And I think the intimidating part for me was because I'm only 1 year in my journey, and I thought, oh my gosh, there's going to be so many people that are doing so many other things, and I feel behind. I don't. I actually feel more present. I feel more conscious, and I guess the word that we're all using is intention. If there's anything that I am more confident in myself is I am doing the right things by being intentional with my money and my time.
I love that. Are you you're going to sign up, you're going to be back, aren't you?
I am going to be back. I think I want to go to a different place, not because this is beautiful and it is great. Getting out of Texas heat, this was fantastic.
Sure.
However, I keep hearing about the amazing food in Florida. And then I thought, well, I would like to go maybe to a different place that I haven't been. I will say that I have manifested in my head, I want to do the Bali one. And the reason is Bali is already on my bucket list, but I keep hearing through other podcasts the amazing experience that people are having. And I feel like the way the FI community has demonstrated this consciousness, it just aligns with a lot of what I believe. So it's kind of meeting both worlds into one. And I just feel like life isn't going to get any better. So I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. So if you were to, again, talk to someone to encourage them to take the jump, hey, go to CampFI, see what this is about, what would you tell that person?
I would tell them this is an experience that will help you get over the hurdles that you might have, whether you've been through dramatic breakups, divorces, starting over, feeling behind. I have to say, all of the people that are in this room, you guys have made it amazing. So thank you.
Awesome.
I had my magic moment yesterday. I was like, oh, there's the magic moment. I keep hearing about it. And then I had another magic moment doing the thing that I don't do anymore. So playing volleyball with complete strangers, like who would have thought that would have been so amazing?
Right.
And bringing out the other side of me that I have put deep down,
Oh,
trying not to be competitive.
Just wait until we do karaoke tonight.
Oh, no, sir.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
No. I will be a backup dancer. So if anybody is singing, I will be your backup dancer and really make it fun. That's what I do.
Awesome. Well, Deja, thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And we'll see you at another CampFI.
Absolutely. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you. And Charlene, this is also your very first CampFI. And you and I also just met this weekend. And again, we've had some great conversations. And you actually you talked with Aubrey about doing some analysis stuff, and you had a bunch of questions, and I'm really excited for you. You've said you got some answers and that type of thing. What I guess prompted you to say, hey, I'm going to go try out this CampFI thing?
I think it's because, I've read a ton of personal finance books. I listened to all the podcasts. I consumed all this stuff on the internet, but it's different from actually meeting people who are retired. It's different from meeting people who are on the journey. Like doing it alone, from learning from the internet and reading all these books. It's not. That education is not what really can transform your life, I think. I mean, I have all the facts in my head, right? Like an asset allocation number, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can read all these different strategies, but when you meet people who are doing it or who can teach you about it in person, it's like, it's different. So
yeah, it makes it real.
Yeah. So I went to economy. I'm an introvert, so that is a huge conference of 500 people. And I thought, oh, you know what, maybe, and I loved it, but it was a lot. And so CampFI, I was like, that might be more my style. And so I signed up, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to come back? You're going to do another one?
Yes, I think now that I know the Florida one has the good food, I will go there. And then I think I want to do a couple, like when Victor was saying, go to more, and it gives you confidence to make the next step. So I'm going to do that. I love to travel. So I'm like, okay, wow. So I can travel in this new way of educating myself, but at the same time making new friends. So yeah, I'm really excited.
And what I think is so great too, I know a lot of people love to travel. And the cool thing is you meet these people with similar goals. And now I know that there are so many groups of people that go on other trips and go on cruises together and travel together as friends.
Yeah.
And it's just remarkable to see that. And you might start traveling with a bunch of new friends you meet here at CampFI. I mean, you never know, right?
Yeah. I even met a couple people here. I'm like, oh, wow, maybe we could travel, abroad together. Or one person or a couple here went to Antarctica. That's on my bucket list. And I said, hey, can you share with me the company you went with and all that? And they've done it. They just did it in January. And I'm like, okay, that's a reality for me, and how cool to have this contact to share how they did it, and now I'm going to do it, So, yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That's awesome. So, again, I'm going to ask kind of a very similar question. So, you meet someone that thinks they want to, I want to retire early, or I'm just getting into the FI thing, I'm just learning, and, you come up to them and you say, hey, you know what? There's this thing called CampFI that you might you might want to go to. What would you say to them?
I would say it's it's a camp that's not just about money. It kind of makes you think about what you want in your life. So it's not just this, place where you get financial help and you meet people to get financial help, but it makes you think about what you want in your life. And then it makes you think about like what brings you joy. And so it helps you become wealthy, but I don't know. I think more than that, it helps you find what makes you healthy, or how can you have sound mental health and physical, good physical health. Like it kind of gives you a more well-rounded life.
Awesome. I love it. Living a holistic life. That's pretty awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Extreme Personal Finance Show, and we'll see you at another CampFI.
Thanks.
All right. All right. I would like to thank Stephen Boyer for coming up here, and thank you to all my guests. Thanks, Stephen Boyer, for CampFI. Awesome. And thank you again for everyone listening today. We'll see you next time on the Extreme Personal Finance Show. Yeah!